Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah. The side of the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament presented by Heidemann & Associates. Go to utah.law to get a free consultation. Let them know the Rewind sent you. And also by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplements available on NutriCost.com. Use the code UTAHMADE and get 30% off your order. Our matchup, the Lehi Pioneers and the reigning 6A champion, Corner Canyon Chargers. Welcome in, everybody. Dusty Lidster, pleased to be joined by Dane Stewart. Dane, this is an interesting matchup. You have the best roster in 6A taking on the best scorer in 6A. We're about to find out what gives.
Yeah, we will. And, you talk about the best scorer in 6A, Cooper Lewis. This kid's been on something. I mean, he's been spectacular this year. He's had games where he scored over 40 a couple times this year. He may have to have that kind of an effort, but he's got more guys around him, including Hawkins and Brousseau, who hit the game winner over Harriman to advance to the state championship game. It's not just Cooper, but we'll call his name plenty times tonight.
And certainly, when you think of Corner Canyon, you think of one name, and that is big shot Brody Kozlowski.
Yeah, I don't know if they need Brody, but they're not going to turn him down, right? I mean, he had himself a quarterfinal to remember. He's great in the semifinal as well. And then you match up the big and Darrell Desiree inside. A lot of length there, especially defensively. He can really anchor down the rest of that defense. You've got great contributors around him. I love the speed of Valdez.
Yes,
Byron Valdez is an absolute stud. And then you mix in the Nivar and the Farrow, and you've got Benninger coming in off the bench. This Corner Canyon lineup is absolutely littered with talent. And that's why I say they don't have to have Brody. But man, he just makes them all the more difficult to defend.
I'll tell you right now, Craig Smith and the coaching staff of Utah would love to have this crowd in their building on one of their home games.
It's a good crowd.
It's a great crowd, and the Lehi has shown out in droves. Our officials for this evening's game, Sean Morris, Brett Kinghorn, and Tuckett Slade.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, this is before the tip. If it was based off of the crowd, Lehi would win this game decisively. It's a good corner crowd, but boy, Lehi, they have made the trip up, donning all the shades of purple to try to support their Pioneers.
It's going to be Darrell Desiree and Gabe Cowan in the jump circle. Corner Canyon in their blacks.
That's a good look.
It is such a good look. It'll start first with Isaac Nibar. Nibar had the most surprising dunk that we've had this week, and he had it in the semifinals. I even had Corner Canyon parents saying we did not know he had it in him. And it was not just a runaway dunk either. There's Isaac looking inside to Desiree. Desiree with Grayson Brousseau on his hip.
But you're not going to back him down.
And Brousseau hits the deck, and we're going to feel for how this game's going to be called, and there'll be a foul on the shot as Brousseau hit the deck early. And one shot that Lehi has is to get foul trouble with Darrell Desiree.
This is about the latest whistle of it. That's the foul. I mean, that's some serious continuation.
Yeah, that's very much a replay in your head and then make a call.
Right? I mean, he takes a dribble after that contact.
And shot it.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was on a different call, but it goes on Grayson Brousseau is first. And one of two for Darrell Desiree, who played in the Haitian 16U national team. Averaged 9 points per game in that tournament.
How many players have experience on a national team?
Right, the 16U. As Brousseau goes inside, now a little fall away over. Desiree leaves it short. The rebound to Brody Kozlowski. We do need to mention Lehi did win against Corner Canyon early in the year. That was before Brody Kozlowski came back from his injury. Cooper Lewis had a big game in that one too. As Nibar comes off the screen of Desiree, it's off the mark. Rebound to Brousseau. Quickly ahead with Cooper. Lewis will pull. Lewis off the mark. Rebound loose in the hands of Kozlowski. Lehi fans wanted to foul on the rebound. Not going to get it. Valdez, what a take and finish from Brighton Valdez.
Quickest player on the floor. He might be the quickest player in all of 5A and 6A.
Just a junior, will be back next year with Dan Lunt. As here comes Cooper, sends it straight away. Brousseau will pull, back rimmed, and the rebound taken by Gabe Cowan. Back out to Grayson. Grayson spins past Desiree, blocked away by Desiree.
Oh, what a recovery.
Nibar drops it inside to Darrell. Double team comes. Gowan Knocked it loose at first, and then it's Brousseau smartly not picking up his second. Gets the board. Hawkins inside, and that one slapped away. Hawkins trying to force the issue there. Maybe kick that out.
Yeah, you got 1-on-2 there. Should have sent that ball up top.
And Kozlowski fouled. Going to put him at the line for 2 free throws. We get another look at it.
You know, not having corner in that region anymore, Lehi doesn't see a lot of teams with the size and length of corner. Might take him a little bit just to adjust. I know you said they played earlier, but Brody does make this lineup different.
It's very different as the future USC Trojan hits the first. They did, you know, obviously AF. I had plenty of coaches tell me they thought AF was the second best team in 6A. Yeah,
I heard the same.
And Lehi did go 2-0 against American Fort. And there's now a 5-0 start for Corner Canyon.
Yeah, co-region champs with the Cavemen.
Up top, Grayson Brousseau. Oh, that's a pretty set. And Hawkins, how about that? The Canadian-blooded Hawkins with the flush. That'd make Tyler jump out of his seat.
The power of maple syrup. Helping Hawkins to elevate. Lehi students appreciated that finish.
No doubt the Papa Hawkins is watching this in a better place. There's now a drive and finish there from Desiree. And it's a 7-2 start for Corner Canyon. Lewis off the screen of Brousseau. Grayson couldn't handle it. Does track it down in the corner. Fires that one up top. Nybar was there to defend Cooper, who saves it back into Kozlowski. Ahead to Valdez. Brighton hangs. Brighton hits. And a 9-2 start for Corner Canyon. They're the 4 seed in this tournament. Much to their chagrin. Here comes Cooper. Cooper will float, and oh my goodness. That thing was 3/4 of the way down and came out as Farrell comes down with the board. On the run with Brighton. Brighton goes right at Bromley and rolls it in. How about the take and finish by Brighton Valdez?
I love watching him play. He's not intimidated by anyone.
Of course, this is a rematch of the football semifinals as Hawkins steps back to 3, and that is 5 points for Easton Hawkins.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed someone to help spark him a little bit. Coops had a couple of shots. One just rimmed out on him. Need someone to help kind of get them going.
Corner Canyon, led by Coach Dan Lunt, won 2 state championships at Corner Canyon. This is the 3rd straight year that Corner Canyon is playing in the championship game, and that ball goes out of bounds. The previous 2 were against American Fork, but they went 1-1. As that ball goes out of bounds, and we are at a media timeout. 3:46 left in the first quarter. We're at a Utah Facial Plastics timeout, and we'll be back after this break. You're watching the 2024 6A State Championship. 3:46 left in the first quarter. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. Game 28 since last Saturday. A week that we look forward to all year long, and we appreciate all of you who've joined us throughout the week. We have our trivia coming up at the beginning of the second quarter as Kozlowski turns that over to Bryson. Don't call me Reed Bromley. Ahead to Cowan, blocked away by Desiree. Nice job by Hanson. Get his hand on that lob, and I'll have a loose ball foul on Corner Canyon, and that's going to go on Brighton Valdez. As Cooper is fouled on the 3 by Isaac Nybar, going to put Cooper Lewis at the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Young men averages 28 a game. Unreal.
But think about who he got to grow up watching. Now, granted, he's a little too young to remember Tyler because he is the same age as Jordy Barnes, which means he would have been 2 or 3 years old during Tyler's run. Did get to see Frank Jackson play for his father. He did get to hang out at BYU and watch some guys play there. I mean, he's got a lot of guys to model his game after. And his dad wasn't too bad either in the Hall of Fame at Wagner.
Of course, we got another Utah great over at Wagner right now. You think of who?
I'm blinking.
Oh, you've got a Raider fan going to be upset.
Q's at Wofford. I have a who fan?
Oh, I think he was at Wagner. Is it Wofford?
Yeah, Wofford.
Oh, my bad. All right.
Is that where you're going with Q?
Yeah.
There's a three from Nybar is good. Isaac Nybar straight away for three. Cooper Lewis pulls up, left it short, and the rebound to Desiree. Quickly on the run. Nybar in the lane, and it rolls off, tipped around. Loose ball grabbed by Caleb Moore over to Cooper Lewis, ahead to Hawkins. Easton will pull from the free throw line. Good contest there from Desiree, and Cy Hansen with the board. Cy Hansen with the finish. And that is what Lehi is going to need.
Yeah, and especially Jarrell has started to leak up a little bit after that initial stop. It's the second chance opportunity, keeping that alive and going right back to the inside.
Darrell goes for the lob. Can't get it. Oh, they're calling out of bounds off of Darrell.
Well, Quincy's saying there should have been a foul call there. They'll just take the possession instead, but
he's saying he pulled his arm down.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Yeah, right there. They got hooked up.
yeah, in college we'd spend 15 minutes wondering if that's a hook and hold.
And if you caught him above the shoulders.
Yep. Come back with the video was inconclusive, so we'll remain with the call on the floor. We'll just save the time and go with the call on the floor here.
Hansen passes up the three, drives the lane at Kozlowski. No, tipped out by Bendinger into the hands of Hansen. Backside to Hawkins, and now he gets the foul on Brody Kozlowski. And that is going to put Easton Hawkins at the line.
A couple things you see, again, where's Desiree? He's at the top of the paint. Why? Because he's looking for those runouts. Corner wants to run the floor. Well, if the big man is leaving, vacating, then go right back inside. It's great recognition by Lehi. Back-to-back possessions of the big man's not there. Attack, penetrate, get a foul call, and get to the line.
How about the Lehi contingent?
Yeah, they're leaving the curtains up here for the Lehi.
And the free throw from Hawkins got both of them. 14-12 as Hawkins having himself a terrific first quarter.
It's been a long time since I remember a state tournament at the U having to use the upper level.
It has been a bit.
It's been a long time.
Valdez loses that ball on the way up. The foul was going to be on Jace John.
You had that with the 5A game. Of course, there were a lot of Lehi folks here getting their seats ready for this one.
If you've been to a Lehi basketball game, you know that there's no way you get seats unless you show up that early.
They didn't build that gym big enough, did they? They weren't planning on Quincy being there.
Lone Peak members of the days. Remember when we first started Lone Peak and we had to get there during the sophomore game just to set up?
You'd be sweating without playing before that game tipped.
No, it's still that hot. Kozlowski fall away short, and the rebound taken by Hansen. And how about that start from corner?
Yeah, that's good sticky defense right there. Not allowing Brody any room.
Off of that start, here's a chance for Lehi to tie. Hawkins does tie it because Easton Hawkins is having a quarter to remember.
It was 9-2 Corner Canyon. What a burst here from the Pioneers.
Desiree sets the screen with Valdez. Out to Brody, straight away, and big shot. Brody shows up, and it's a big triple. So a three-point Corner Canyon lead as Cooper comes off the screen of Hansen. Cooper trying to get loose, leaves it for Cy Hansen, and Hansen short board again to Hawkins. Count the hoop. Easton Hawkins, everybody.
You know what amazes me? You look at Easton Hawkins, you're like, oh, you know, you're probably not big enough to go play in the paint. Yeah, right. That kid doesn't care. Like, he'll go down, battle with anyone he needs to. See him fighting for that board. Tough finish. And one.
What a quarter for Easton. We're tied up at 17. That's because he's the youngest of the crew. He's had a fight and scrap for anything he's gotten in that household. "15 seconds now. As Valdez hands back to Nybar. Isaac with 8 seconds. Isaac parrying the paint. Leaves it short. Kozlowski got it back, 2 seconds. Valdez fall away. And that's how the first quarter will end. Corner jumped out to a big lead, but Lehi withstood the run and tied the game at 17 after a great quarter from Easton Hawkins. We go to the second quarter in the 6A championship game with our coverage presented by Heidemann & Associates and brought to you by NutriCost. We'll be back with the second quarter. And welcome back in as we go to our handles. Trivia question.
I like this one, Dusty.
I'm really excited.
So Corner Canyon won the state championship last year. Who was the last program to repeat as your 6A boys basketball state champion?
You're saying 6A state champion.
Sorry, 6A/5A. Top classification.
Top classification.
Yep.
Top classification.
That tells you it's been a while, by the way. That's a good clarification. I appreciate that.
Great clarification. I was making sure. I got a feeling I know this one.
He's got a feeling. Woo-hoo. I can't do the woo-hoo.
I know. You give it a couple weeks. That's my test if my voice is working on state championship week. I get it more and I start to sing. Like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
So hit us up. You know the answer to the question. You get a free $10 Handles gift card. Hit us up on our social media at KSL Sports Rewind on Zetus on the X app. You can IG us on Instagram. You can hit us up on Facebook Messenger as well. Who was the last top classification school to repeat as champions?
12 points in that first quarter for Easton Hawkins.
And now,
how about this? Lehi out-rebounding Corner Canyon. I would not have thought that would be the case.
When they had to get back into that quarter.
Yes, they did.
As we might have an answer already, Dane.
Do we really? Oh, we got a winner. Do you know which one, Dusty?
This one right here.
No,
it was the other one. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, we'll pull and hit for three with Cooper Lewis.
Boy, that didn't take long at all.
And if he starts seeing that ball through the net,
this
becomes very special.
We've seen some big-time performances this week. Coming off Dutch Dowdell, 34 points in that state championship. Or 37? No, 34.
How about the night for Dutch? Awesome. As Desiree can't get it.
It was 37 for Kozlowski in the quarterfinal.
Yes. Back the other way. Cooper pumped the three. Pulls inside the arc. Wide to the right. Thought he'd get a foul. Did not get one. Good job of not giving it away. Here's Brousseau. Hawkins. Wow, it's Callum standing right there. Bryson isn't quite the passer that Jackson is. The potential future quarterback at CSU. Bryson, or probably Grayson, right to the rim.
There's a lot of sons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sons. That one's Grayson.
I know better. He's my little brother's little brother.
And he's going to the Utah State University.
To match up with his brother. My brother. As Rug is bending here, says down over to Kozlowski. Fire cross court. Isaac Nybar lips out the triple on the board to Cooper Lewis.
He kept that in by millimeters.
He did. 5-point Lehi lead.
That's why you don't ever wear purple shoes on a black line. Always go with the blacks.
Well, at least they're not Grayson Brousseau's shoes like last year. He got his own shoes. He refutes it, but Jackson rather, stands by it. As Brousseau gets him off his feet. Hawkins, won't go. Rebound to Cowan. Cowan back off the window, and it is a 7-point Lehi lead. How about the Pioneers?
Man, gritty, tough work, second chance opportunities. The boards continue to go to Lehi, and they're capitalizing off of them. Owning Corner Canyon right now on second chance opportunities.
5:59 left in the second quarter. We'll keep it here, just a 30-second timeout. Let's go to the answer. Yeah.
All right.
Dane says we got the answer.
The answer, the first one, was from Mr. Luke Cantwell. The Bingham Miners, 2016-2017, went back-to-back. That's the last top classification team to go back-to-back.
Yoli Childs. Remember, they won the first one up at the Event Center. Came back on Lone Peak and David Evans. And then won here against Copper Hills. With Stockton Shorts and
that's a long
Sanchez.
time. That's almost a decade without having back-to-back champions in the top classification. That surprised me.
188 basketball games on the Rewind Sports Network. Let me say that one more time. 188. Does that include my 18 that we're logged on our own? Okay, 188. So Some might claim to be lots of things, but we're here all year long with Rewind Sports Network.
This is the real high school home. This is the high school mansion. That's what this is.
It really is. It's the Dane Stewart house. As that ball's loose, Grayson Brousseau making the plays. Grayson Brousseau. Backdoor to Cooper Lewis. Reverse it and score it. What a pass from Bryson Bromley.
And a 24-8 run from Lehi right now. 24-8 run.
Here comes Nybar. Sends out for three, and it's short.
Look at all these one and dones.
Mortensen is one and done. As the take and make by Easton Hawkins. And it's an 11-point Lehi lead.
Wow. The way this game started, I never would have guessed this is where we're sitting.
I feel shocked.
This is crazy.
Darrell Desiree sends it to Nybar. It's taken away by Callan, keeping Nybar on his hip, and scores. The heady steal, take, and make from Kate Cowan. Rousseau with Desiree. Darrell sends out Kozlowski. Good hands by Cowan, out of bounds.
The rebounding numbers at the half are going to be mind-blowing. Lehi is dominating the glass, and it's not even close.
The energy in this building.
It is skewed purple.
The roof of this building is going to pop off if Lehi gets a stop, comes down and hits a three. As a full timeout, we'll take it. Lehi leading by 13 with 4.5 left in the half. You're watching the 6A state championship basketball game on your home for state championships, KSLSports.com.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Welcome back in as the better half of the better half of the better half of our broadcast shows up. The nicest Francis on earth. Hell no, I'm not talking about Vince Francis.
Yeah,
I'm
not
talking
Vince.
about Taylor Francis. Donning us with her presence. Vince is the meanest person ever. He's been giving me guff all day long. All day. I mean, he's had me in tears today. And I'm so glad Taylor's here. It is rare that our spouse is going to make it. So, Taylor, we're glad you're here.
Welcome.
So, out of the timeout, here is Corner Canyon up top with Noah Bendinger. Noah can't get that one to go. Loose ball, and it's Hawkins. Who else?
It's another one and done, Dusty.
Caleb Moore for three.
Oh, my word.
A 16-point lead for Lehi.
It's a 31-8 run.
Inside to Darrell.
Who's going to stop the bleeding?
Right hand, no. Rebound to Moore.
Again, one and done. Everyone's on the perimeter of that. You get a turnaround, one-handed hook shot from Darrell from 12 feet out. No one's there to get a rebound.
Hansen into Easton Hawkins, and he's fouled on the take. And Easton Hawkins, the man of the half, will go to the free throw line.
He started it. Remember? Cooper missed a couple shots. It was kind of tough to find someone to get it going.
Dane, you can verify. I've told you everything about Lehi. What have I always said? What happens in the first half if things go right? Remember?
I don't recall.
The Easton Hawkins has a major impact in that game. Do you think it's only Cooper Lewis, and then Easton Hawkins gets going, and the next thing you know, we're in the danger zone for corner because Cooper started looking for a shot.
And remember, this is on the quote-unquote tough end of the floor.
Tough end of the floor, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
18-point lead for Lehi in a stunned Huntsman Center. Outside with Wells Robertson. Wells terminates, sent out to Brighton Valdez inside of 3:30 left in the half. Brighton hands back to Wells. Brighton again got Bromley to move. He pulls and it rolls off. And the rebound to Bryson Bromley. Hawkins Who just terminates, sends over to Cooper Lewis.
Of course.
4-3.
Of course.
And there goes the roof. 21-point lead for Lehi.
Make it 36-8, the Lehi run. As right now, everyone walking in and looking in the Huntsman Center saying, "You look very purpley today." That's a movie line.
Dane, okay, I can't think of the purpley. I'm just sitting here shocked. We're going to keep it here.
This is how shocking this score is. Dusty can't recall a movie. That's how stunned he is. That it's a 21-point Lehi lead.
Well, we came into today, and the thing that we talked about, we thought Alta and Olympus would be very close. And the hope is that Lehi could stay in it. And what I had said to a couple of people is, I'm so interested to see what
Quincy has in store for corner. You know what he has in store? Hard work.
Yeah.
Not giving up. Physical, ball movement, locked in defensively, getting stops and running.
I do believe in broadcaster jinxes. So I might share this off there. Quincy Lewis has won 8 state championships.
Yep.
There's a reason that his team walks in super confident. I had a Lehi parent text me after the come-from-behind win against Harriman. He said, Quincy is the cheat code. This is a very involved Lehi parent.
Now, Dusty.
I know what it means. That's why I'm not jinxing.
Okay.
That's why I know what it means.
We had to confirm something.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed. Yes. We've both seen it. Not messing up today.
I had never looked up one of the records. I knew this record because I did the last one for Craig Jewelry.
Oh, you just said it.
That's okay. There's Valdez. I didn't go for what exactly.
That's true. That's true.
As Kozlowski's short, and he'll get a foul on Caleb Moore. And I'll put Brody Kozlowski at the line to shoot 3 free throws.
So you look very purpley today. You don't recall that movie?
I don't remember that movie. Very purpley. Do you want to do a 4-pack?
Well, now I'm nervous that I'm misquoting it. No, I think I'm right. Yeah, let's do a 4-pack.
A 4-pack. Crumble 4-pack. You're looking very purpley today. Or as some outside of Utah would say, today. As second free throw good for Brody Kozlowski. Oh, gosh.
No?
Did you know it? All right. And the third is good. So Brody goes 3 of 3. Lehi leading by 18 as Cooper Lewis comes up with Wells Robertson. Cooper on the drive, going to pull up and hit. Cooper Lewis.
You talk about Brody Kozlowski. The offense just flows. His shot is so smooth. It's just so natural. Cooper has that same look. When that one barely touches the twine, it barely moves.
His shooting stroke reminds me of Sonic Great.
I know you said that, yeah. I'm trying to envision him in the green and gold so I can put it all together, right? I mean, Ray did wear purple before he saw the light.
The Bucks purple?
Yeah.
He just stayed with green for a long time. Oh, we got it.
Yes, we do.
Who was first? That was a take, and Neibauer with an and one. And there's a response from a guy that is Easton Hawkins-esque for Corner Canyon. That is Isaac Neibauer. Okay, let's see who's first. Do you have the time on it?
Let me pull the exact time.
We had them come in almost the exact same time.
Yeah, should we give them to both?
Hey, you each get one.
All right. So the movie is Elf. Carson Sudbury. We know Carson.
We love Carson.
Love Carson. Carson, congratulations, buddy. You get a 4-pack. And
Tyus Mao from Timthew. Oh, nice hands by Robertson. Loose ball in the hands of Moore. Back out Cooper again. And it comes off, and the rebound to Farrow. Now on the push. Neibauer gives that up to Kozlowski. Brody, transition 3. A little long, and rebound. Now quickly back with Hawkins. That's a Tyus Mao going to get you a 4-pack of Crumble cookies as well. So there goes 2 of them. We do have some built up because we've had a bunch of non-answered. As Cooper misses on that contested shot. And the rebound claimed by Desiree. Neibauer gives that up to Kozlowski. Brody sends up top to Nybar. Isaac on the drive. Terminates, sends it back out to Wells. 14, 13, 12 on the shot clock. Desiree mishandles the inbound pass, or the entry pass, and that is a jump ball. Possession remains here with Corner Canyon with 58 seconds.
That could deem second half possession going the way of Lehi. Should we not get another dual possession here?
Even our own Kenzie Valentine can't believe what's happening. Kenzie will have our post-game interview. And trust me, Kenzie and Ellery take their interview very seriously throughout the game. Getting all their prep done and making sure they're ready to go. Done a great job this week, ladies. Been a lot of fun.
This interview is, what was your pregame dinner? My goodness.
Just Darrell gets that one, kept it high. How about that? He kept that ball tall, and it's a 16-point game. There is going to be one possession left, about a 10-second difference between game and shot clock. Here goes Cooper Lewis to the rim, nothing as he hits the deck. Here's the board and rebound with Wells Robertson. Darrell Desiree down the lane. No, rebound and put back there from Wells Robertson.
Yeah, great job. Great follow there by Robertson. I think Darrell wanted to throw that down. He wanted to make a statement late. That was a nice job by Lehi taking that away originally.
So 14-point game with 15 seconds left as Cooper Lewis holds up top. Down to 10, hands it off to Bryson Bromley. 6 seconds, down to 5 with Cooper Lewis. 4, 3, 2. Cooper at the horn. Got it to go! The half of their dreams ends on a dream shot from Cooper Lewis.
Is Quincy the cheat code or is Cooper? You got two of them going right now for Lehi.
It was meant to be a coronation to many. And at the break, it is Lehi with a 17-point lead on the reigning champions in 6A, Corner Canyon. We go to the break. We come back with the halftime performances. And also the Ring of Honor. Coming up next right here on KSLSports.com. Commentary presented by Heidemann & Associates. Brought to you by NutriCost.com. Dane Stewart with you is. Are you ready for the second half? I don't know if they can replicate the first half. What they were able to accomplish toward the end, coming in off of the lazy finish to that half. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart as Cooper Lewis misses on his first shot. As Cowan has the rebound. It helps when I put on the right headset. Oh, man. Get this thing away from me. Keep it over there. As Bromley, or probably Hawkins rather, gets the foul call on.
We have seen some of the great performances on a championship day today.
Yeah.
And we just saw one of the great championship flops.
That's two for me.
Oh, man.
It's two. The other one, no one will ever know. But that one is, like, where is my audio? Brousseau, backdoor to Hawkins. Hey, just because it's a new half doesn't mean it's a new Easton Hawkins. The old one's still in the building. As on the take, Nybar, no.
Dusty, it was a 20-11 rebounding advantage for Lehi in that first half.
Hawkins goes to Nybar and finishes.
The glass has been dominated by Lehi. It's allowed them to get out on the run. Man, they've been so good today. Cooper Lewis has 16 at the break, 14 for Easton Hawkins. No one in double figures for corner. In fact, Brody Kozlowski just 1 of 3 from the floor.
Wells Robertson. It is that kind of night for Corner Canyon as Nybar kicks that over to Kozlowski. And did you watch the documentary about D.B. Cooper?
D.B. Cooper?
The D.B. Cooper documentary on Netflix, the series?
No.
I knew better. One of the people they think was D.B. Cooper, they think it was based off of a Canadian superhero comic. I don't remember the name of it. The Easton Hawkins might be him. I mean, this is unreal.
Yeah.
What he's doing tonight. Lob that up to Darrell. No, got it back. Desiree hanging. Now fouled and one as the foul will go to Grayson Brousseau. Then Darrell Desiree will go to the line looking for the three-point play.
Good job by Desiree sticking with it. If you're going to be taking swipes like that, you got to get your money's worth, not allow him to get that shot up.
Well, and the hope is with some of the contact they've allowed that you think, well, maybe they won't call it. As Brousseau didn't finish on that one, and Desiree does not finish the three-point opportunity. As Brousseau goes at Durrell, got the foul, so they go 1-1, and that's going to put Grayson Brousseau at the line to shoot 2.
Well, that whole time you're thinking, Grayson, are you really going to go at Durrell? Are you really going to do this with his length? And he just uses that body, never really allows Durrell to get set up in a good defensive position. That's a heck of a job by a very athletic tight end / basketball player.
Absolutely. Looking at Papa Brousseau. Got to sit next to him at the Lone Peak game. His wife thought it was funny. Jackson thought it was funny. As Grayson goes 2 for 2 because he thought he'd be more mellow. It took a quarter. As Brighton Valdez sends that out to Nybauer, tracked down by Robertson. Off the screen of Brody, down the lane. Nybauer got it to go. Straightens it out, did Nybauer. Here comes Cooper Lewis at the rim. Got it over the top. Cooper Lewis.
That's an outstretched Durrell, who's in full retreat mode, going for that block. Able to get it over that and in front of the defender that's right there. What a take.
Wells down the lane, leaves it for Durrell, and Durrell, that's a big-time dunk for the big man.
Warner's been very decisive in going inside to try to get easy buckets with the length and size of Durrell.
Brousseau over to Cooper, back to Grayson. Got Nybauer on him, got around him, and a left-hand finish for Grayson Brousseau.
Yeah, that's one where you get a switch like that, and Grayson's going to own that matchup.
Here's Nybauer. Terminates. Good.
Got to get this ball to Brody somehow.
He's kind of getting stuck. Kind of feels like the Jackson Johnson game that we just saw. Is that's going to be number 3 on Grayson. He'll come off the floor for Cy Hansen. But it's what happened. Jackson never quite got an offensive rhythm. As Olympus did a great job on him.
Yes, they did.
So it's the under 5 timeout, so we'll take it as well to Utah Facial Plastics timeout. Call 801-960-3137 and get a consultation from our friends at Utah Facial Plastics. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good, is what we always say on the court and on the field. But in the game of life, if you look good, you feel good, you may work better. You're going to parent better, be a better spouse. If you've got the confidence and everything else, and you're not feeling like you're losing who you are. And a lot of times, cosmetic surgery, yes, it's about looking better, but it's all about feeling better as well. Call Utah Facial Plastics, 801-960-3137. Offices in Draper and Layton. But our fan base is watching tonight, and Lehi and Draper. There's an easy drive to Utah Facial Plastics. But what a crazy game we're watching here with Lehi and Corner Canyon. Going to be such an interesting final 4:53 of this quarter, because for Corner Canyon, Dane, it's got to be about getting this game into a poundable size. So if that's 12, what would be the number to head into the fourth quarter?
For me, it's 12. Right, that's the number that I think you got to get to. You got to find a way, and if that's earlier defensive help on some of these drives, for me it starts with rebounding. Because to me, I think that shows hustle, it shows effort, and right now Lehi's just out hustling Corner Canyon a little bit on some of those rebounds, and they've had better intention on the glass and better execution on the glass.
So Robertson lobs in to Brody Kozlowski with Cy Hansen on him. The fall away for Brody is short, and the board to Bryson Bromley. Bromley quickly ahead to Cy Hansen. There's Brody. Nearly had the steal into the hands of Cowan, who lays it up and in.
It's been that kind of a game. I mean, Brody should have that steal easy. Runs into his own guy. Next thing you know, you got 2 Lehi Pioneers there with an uncontested lay-in.
Inside to Darrell Desiree. Darrell inside, right hand. Finisher and one.
He loses this ball going up. Check out this replay if we've got it. Cross your fingers.
We got it.
Check this out. Darrell, this ball comes out of his hand, and he just kind of volleys it up. Look at that. That's just a soft touch.
And Darrell misses the and one. Tracked down by Cy Hansen.
He was
stepped
out
out of bounds.
Yeah, he was.
Sai steps out of bounds, and it's going to be Corner Canyon ball. They may be making this a 4-point possession, essentially, after that turnover. So into Brody Kozlowski, goes at Hansen. Brody with the jump hook, and it is a 4-point possession, now a 19-point game.
And I like Corner continuing to put the pressure on here. You got to try to force Lehi to give something up here. That's a tough shot.
Cooper makes that a real tough shot. Durrell with the board lead out to Kozlowski. Probably going to lead to a Quincy Lewis timeout as Kozlowski with the hammer. And now a 17-point game. And if Corner starts finding the rhythm, Lehi's kept him off balance all night.
Yep.
Cooper to Hansen. Send to the corner. Easton Hawkins off on the three. And now the rebound to Isaac Nybar.
Brousseau's been off the floor. Look at the difference.
Here come the Chargers. Wells Robertson sends over to Brighton Valdez. Now he'll go over to Nybar. Isaac on the drive. Will terminate. Pull. Short. Board now run out. And we're going to slow things up as Hawkins backs things up. And a 17-point lead as Cy Hansen pulls, misses, and the rebound to Bryson Bromley. Bromley sends that to Hawkins. Desiree there. Hawkins can't finish.
That's tough. Bromley win a little show with the no-look pass. Hawkins, I think, try to send that out, work it around a little bit more.
Wells Robertson, no. Rebound into the hands of Easton Hawkins.
Corner dusting that first half, only shot 38% from the floor. They haven't been much better here in this second half. It's been a tough shooting night for the Chargers. And you can credit Lehi's defense, but Corners had their fair share of open looks.
Yes, they have. Here's Bryson Bromley. Bryson gets away from Valdez. Sends to the corner to Hawkins. He's got Nybar on him. It's a fun matchup. And back to Cooper with Wells Robertson with 8 seconds. 7. Now 5. Lewis on the drive, and he doesn't get it. But he is fouled. That will go to Wells Robertson, and Cooper Lewis will go to the line for 2 free throws. Lewis had 16 at the break, including that sensational 3 to close out the half. And that one does stay down. They didn't want to.
You know, one of the things we haven't talked about, you've got 2 elite players here, and Cooper Lewis and Brody Kozlowski, is a chance for the award for the best singular basketball player potentially on the line in this game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Our awards, they go right. We don't take a major break on that. Dane and I'll get together with Vince, and we'll put together our awards. And Cooper Lewis and Brody Kozlowski both in the running for Mr. Rewind. Especially what we've seen this week. As Nybar going to be left open for 3, and Isaac hits. He'd be up for most unheralded player of the year, Isaac Nybar. And there's the foul to Wells Robertson. And that is the 4th team foul on Corner Canyon.
Cut down to 15 here. You think Brousseau's out for the rest of this third?
I think so. I think you want to save his last 2 fouls for the 4th quarter, whatever the score is. I would think. As Moore goes up top to Bromley. Man, that was awkward. Gets it out. Cooper off on the 3 to rebound into the hands of Moore. Hawkins left alone. And another one to Caleb Moore. Here comes Hawkins at Durrell and gets the foul. I think you'd rather take this for the long game if you're Lehi.
Yep.
The foul to Durrell Desiree.
That was 3rd? 2nd. Now, Durrell's pretty vertical there. That arm maybe comes down a little bit, but he's saying, hey, he's into my body. He does a pretty good job of getting back there. I do think that left arm comes down a little bit into Hawkins.
As Easton knocks down the first.
Just good to see Hawkins up okay. That's a long way. It's a long fall from where he was.
I think Hawkins now unofficially was 17. Make it 18, unofficially.
He was the guy who got it going.
And he did. Here's the thing, we kept saying 9-2. It was 11-2. Corner Canyon led by 9 points in the first quarter. before Easton Hawkins got going. Here comes Isaac Nybar. Nice take and finish there by Isaac. We saw him in a huge game against Alta, where he was spectacular offensively. As Cooper going to push the tempo, now pull and hit.
Cooper knows right now he can get whatever he wants.
I'm curious to see if that fourth quarter, if Brighton Valdez gets the call, is Cy Hansen going to pick up the foul. But if Brighton Valdez gets the call to guard Cooper in the fourth.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't make that move earlier.
He has 2 fouls, I think.
Can you afford to wait?
I'm going basketball logic, Dave.
I understand, but you've only got 9 minutes left.
Well, think about this. Here's a big thing, too, in this ball game. We're getting to the fourth quarter, and let's say it's a 2-possession game under a minute. Corner Canyon only has 3 timeouts remaining for the ball game, and you cannot stop the clock inside of a minute without timeouts.
I knew exactly where you were going, Dusty.
It's got to be a football strategy.
I'll tell you this, man. Dusty has been keyed into this for years. And what it was that game, Skyreach AF, I think it was, on the baseline when they didn't have to inbound the ball, and they had no timeouts, they couldn't stop it, and that game died with that ball sitting on the baseline because they didn't have to inbound it.
Yeah, you got to husband those timeouts. Cooper, for 3!
Of course. Of course.
Corner had grabbed a little bit of momentum. Got this game down to 15.
Not anymore.
No. Pushed it back up to 20. 5-point spurt from Cooper Lewis. Durrell forces it up and one. Good answer there from Durrell Desiree.
This is the most intentional I've ever seen corner feeding the big man. And I don't know if it's because other guys haven't been able to get it going, or if they just feel like with Brousseau out, we want to attack the paint. For whatever reason it is, it's been the Durrell show in this third quarter.
Well, he's been the decision maker in the post.
Yep.
And that was what happened against Layton. They threw it into Durrell. He looked backside when the double came, found him. And there was a slasher down the baseline for easy layups all night long. And he's making good decisions in the third quarter. And it's a 17-point game.
And some of those free throws he's hit, some he has not. But when you get an opportunity for those 3-point plays or to go to the line, you got to capitalize.
Cooper Lewis up top with Isaac Nybar. This will be a fun matchup in the final 8 seconds. Cooper working on Isaac, got the shift, pulls up. And no, the board to Brody Kozlowski. And that is how the third quarter ends. There are 8 minutes left in the high school basketball season in the state of Utah. And it is a 17-point lead for Lehi heading into the fourth, looking for an improbable state championship as they have got the reigning 6A Kings on the ropes. We go to the fourth. Lehi 63, Corner Canyon 46. You're watching the 2024 6A State Championship basketball game on KSLSports.com.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Start of the fourth quarter, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart with you. Again, our broadcast presented by Heidemann Associates. Go to utah.law and find the law office nearest you. Brought to you by NutriCost. Use Utah Made to get 30% off your order with NutriCost. The Utah Made company with Utah Made products as Noah Bendinger. There's a good start for corner in the final quarters.
That's only the second shot for Noah Bendinger today. This is a young man averaged over 20 points a game last year at Juan Diego.
He was a difference. I keep going back to that matchup in the Holiday Hoop Fest against Texas powerhouse Duncanville. As here goes Grayson Brousseau playing with those 3 fouls, misses at the rim. Rebound to Kozlowski on the run with Robertson. Bendinger. 2 threes to open up the fourth for Noah Bendinger. Kid has no fear.
He's a guy, when I hear he's going over the corner, I was like, oh boy, he can make corner very different. And, you know, he hasn't been option A on this group. They've got a lot of other scorers. But boy, with him on the floor, when he can find it, I'm telling you, he is an electric scorer.
Cowan was forced the issue. And Quincy Lewis, Quincy takes the timeout to preserve a potential turnover there when Cowan hit the deck. But how about Noah Bendinger? Look at that, Dane. I mean, 63-52. Well, that's a change in a hurry.
It is. The number for me was 12. That's where I thought the corner needed to be within. You hit 2 threes in the first minute. You get to 11, that'll do.
With the player of the winning team. And then you'll have your recap of myself and Dane Stewart as Grayson Brousseau pulls on 3. No. Hawkins runs over his own man to get to that board. Trapped in the corner. Ball still loose.
Wow. Yeah, that's got to be a foul. Brody's got his arms wrapped around Hawkins as they go to the floor. He's trying to force the dual possession. But, I mean, that's as good of a tackle. And that's the call. Corner doesn't like it, but if you bring the player to the floor with your arms around and trying to force a dual possession, like, that's got to be the call.
Absolutely. He comes from a football family. Sometimes it sticks in there. And there's a flat pass, and Cooper Lewis hits the deck as Nybar knocks it loose. A chance to make it single digits. How about an 8-point fourth quarter and 1 for Noah Bendinger?
We got ourselves a different ball game now.
And the Draper contingent is heard from. Scary moment.
Yeah, if you're going to run back, you got to contest that shot. You can't just, that's a dangerous play, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
You get in a spot, player in the air, intentional, unintentional, you flip a guy. That's tough.
Good to see Bendinger get up on that one.
Yeah.
And now 9 points in the quarter for Noah Bendinger. Used sparingly. I'm not sure why, as it's an 8-point game.
Yeah, he is. He's a special player.
And hold on to your seats. Was that ball out of bounds there with Durrell making a move? There was another movie quote I wanted to go for, but I decided not to.
Who's going to settle the troops here for Lehi?
It's got to be Cooper Lewis, you'd think.
You'd think.
Hand off to Cooper, shakes Nybar, goes to Brousseau. Grayson loses it on the way up. Loose ball to Bromley. Bryson steps through, sends out Cooper for 3. Big answer for Cooper Lewis.
I was going to say, Lehi does not feel settled at all. Everything's it feels very sporadic, very rushed. And it's Cooper Lewis, that smooth 3, able to hit.
Bendinger, ball to Durrell. Hawkins comes away with the loose ball. Hawkins fouled on the way up. They call it on the floor. They do. Let's take a look at that last bucket from Cooper Lewis.
I felt really nervous right there. Like, oh boy, I don't know how this is going to turn out. And you find Cooper. That would be good to hang out with Mr. Cooper, doesn't it?
You do. And how about the play? Oh, great 90s show.
Yeah.
As
Glad you caught that.
Yeah, it's Friday night, TGIF. As Brousseau sends that up to Hawkins, but great play there by Bendinger, finding Durrell for the lob as Hawkins left alone. Pump the 3. Drive it, now find Callan, baseline. He'll reverse it and score it.
That's a great play. You get that defense up and you slip that cut along that baseline. Beautiful job.
Lehigh fans hanging on here as Bendinger, probably, I wanted to slap the floor. Come on, Bryson, just slap the floor playing that good of defense. Back comes Bendinger, he had the foul on Bromley as he was trying to make up the ground lost. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting some Steve Wojciechowski come back and start slapping the floor, asking him to come back. Missed opportunity, Dane.
Through 3 quarters, Brody only had 6 field goal attempts.
He had 6 field goal attempts for Brody?
Yeah.
And he had to find 15. Off the screen of Bromley, Bendinger back over to Brody. Back to Noah. He said he's been the offense in the fourth quarter, floated up, no. He was trying to get the NBA call, didn't get it. Durrell is going to get the call on the floor here with Bromley. Kind of wrong spot, wrong time. The foul to Bryson Bromley. And there it is there from Bryson. Did they set on Lewis?
I don't recall, they might have.
Timeout on the floor, we'll figure it out. 4:56 left in the fourth. You're watching the 6A state championship on KSLSports.com. 4:56 left in the high school basketball season. Noah Bendinger has become the offense for Corner Canyon. They go 2-man, he and Brody. He'll pull. Left it short. Nybar with the board. Back up, blocked away. Tipped out in the hands of Bendinger. Thought he was going to pull again. Robertson drops it into Durrell. Double comes with Brousseau. Durrell forces his way out of bounds. Hawkins trying to get the call. I like when they don't give that. I really do.
Yeah, agreed.
We had a girls' game decided on something like that. To just, not to keep bringing it up, but I'm going to. But I'm glad they're not calling it. I'm on the baseline here with Wells Robertson. Oh, maybe tipped there by Cooper Lewis. Inside, Isaac Nybar keeps coming.
Single digits.
So they did call that last foul on Cooper Lewis. He's now with 2 personal fouls. Cooper now fouled by Bendinger. That'll be the 3rd team foul on the Chargers. They'll have 1 to give in the final 4:16. Number 2 on Noah Bendinger. And we'll reset the shot clock. There's Cooper. And Grayson outside. Pump it, now drive it. Grayson with the hammer.
How about the quick step? Durrell has that hard closeout. Moses got to defend that 3, and Grayson with a heck of a move.
Half of a quarter left in the season, and a 11-point lead for Lehi. Inside, and Durrell fouled by Grayson Brousseau. That is number 4.
No, they've called it on Cooper.
Oh, they call him Cooper. That's number 3 on Cooper Lewis.
Foul charge to Cooper Lewis. His 3rd personal.
So that's going to add up, but this game gets really interesting down the stretch. So Durrell Desiree will go to the line for 2 free throws. I said this, Casey liked it, that Durrell Desiree is the Chris Bosh of Utah high school basketball. Toronto Chris Bosh. You don't agree? Before he went to the Heat, Chris Bosh. Toronto Chris Bosh.
Well, for me, I feel like Chris Bosh, and maybe I'm thinking Heat days, he had a mid-range, that mid-range J. Yeah. And I don't know that I've seen that from Durrell. Okay. I think he's been more of a block kind of a guy, right?
Okay.
Plays closer to the rim than Bosh did. So,
fair.
That's not a bad take.
Yeah.
I just think that's an element that we saw. I feel like I saw a lot in Chris Bosh that I don't know we've seen from Durrell.
That's true. Here comes Cooper down the middle, blocked away by Desiree. Bromley, timeout. Got trapped in the corner, takes the timeout as it is getting intense inside the Huntsman Center. 3:38 left in the season. Full time on the floor. We haven't taken you on one for a bit. We'll be back in a minute. 9-point game. It was a 23-point lead at one point for Lehi. As they get it into Brousseau, and he sends it out to Cooper Lewis. Nybar out there with him. Cooper gives that up to Hawkins. Hawkins terminates over to Grayson Brousseau. Now up top with Cooper Lewis. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 with the shot clock. Nice defense by Nybar. They say got him on the wrist. We're going to take a look at it.
This is mighty close. I thought he got a piece of the basketball. Does it get him on the follow through? Yeah.
He did. You don't like it, but he did. Turning out, Cooper Lewis doesn't miss like that. He doesn't hit his arm. As Cooper at the line, hit the first.
That free throw does look like Ray Allen. It's a little like lock and load, right?
Doesn't quite have the calves of Ray Allen. Not many did or do. Oh, he goes 1-2. So a 10-point game.
Yeah, give him time. He's got a couple years to catch up to the famous Shuttleworth.
Jesus Shuttleworth, I believe. Down the lane is Brody. There comes Brody Kozlowski. Been quiet tonight. I think it's 7 field goal attempts tonight for Brody Kozlowski. 8-point game. Now the pressure going to start ramping up here on Lehi. Cooper terminates, send over to Hawkins. Easton's been quiet in the second half, pulls and hits. 4-3, Easton Hawkins.
You know, I was just thinking we haven't heard from Easton in the second half like we did in the first half. There it is for Easton Hawkins.
If we had additional camera, I want that on just Coach Lewis on every bucket. Inside, Durrell lost it, got it back, left hand, no. Rebound to Brody Kozlowski, and he's fouled. We're going to put Kozlowski at the line. With 2:25 left. And it's an 11-point lead once again for the Pioneers. Cody is the first.
You know what's pretty remarkable when you think about Coach Lewis? He could do this for another 15 years.
Yeah.
Think about like some of the marks he could set in terms of coaching in this state if he had another 15 years on the bench.
Well, think about it. He won 7 state championships from 2004 to 2015.
Yeah.
Leaves, goes to coach at BYU, comes back, his first year wins against Colin Chandler and Farmington with Noah Gonzalez, who's had a great career thus far at the Dixie campus of Utah Tech. And a timeout to Dan Lund. Again, he'll have 2 timeouts left with 2:25 left in the quarter. And Dan, this is an interesting timeout from Dan Lund. I guess he needs to get his defense set, but at the same time, he only have 2 times. There are 2 ways to stop the clock without fouling in the final minute of this ball game.
Yeah, but I think, I can understand that timeout. I mean, I think for me right now, it's you got to make sure your troops are locked in. You can't take them with you, and you still got yourself a 3-possession ball game. Like, you've got to be able to execute on both sides of the floor for the next 2.5 minutes to even make those timeouts matter in the final minute.
Yeah, fair.
There's a lot of holding going on.
Yeah. You better do the Mayfu Express. You want to learn how to get through that.
Yeah.
Believe you me.
Dusty wouldn't have been held up.
No way. Cooper gets that over to Bromley. Cooper comes far side, back up to Bryson with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Bromley heads back to Cooper. Here comes the trap. Bromley over to Brousseau with 8, 7, fall away. That won't go. Rebound to Bendinger. There's the 0 you needed. Now you need a crooked number. Send out Neibauer. Back out Bendinger. Oh, that goes in and out. A rebound to Cowan.
That would have been huge for corner.
You felt that corner contingency. You thought that was going to drop, and it was partly down. Lehi starting to feel it with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the season. Bromley back up top to Cooper. Bromley going to penetrate, send over to Grayson Brousseau. And Grayson with 9 seconds. Now a timeout from Quincy Lewis. A timeout brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics. I want to thank them for their sponsorship this week. They've had the replay and timeouts. But Dane, we only got 1:18 left in our basketball season. This will be an interesting 1:18 with a 9-point game in favor of Lehi.
Yeah, and only 8 seconds to work with here. It'll be interesting to see what Lehi does. This could really be the play that puts it away.
Yeah. Well, you get up 3 scores with about 1 minute left. And again, with Corner County only 2 timeouts left, the clock will not stop on a made basket. So if you're an NBA fan or college basketball fan, you're used to seeing that clock stop. It does not stop in the last minute without a foul or a timeout. Into Cowan. Cooper Lewis will pull. Will miss. Tipped around. Tipped up. And Cowan. It was Hawkins that kept it alive. Cowan tips it in. And there it is, an 11-point game.
He's got to stay vertical.
Durrell, it's the only reason they give it up is now with 1 minute left, Dan Lund takes a timeout with 1 minute exactly remaining in this one. But Hawkins has made the plays all night. This might be his biggest one, Dane.
This is a heck of a job. I love the play design. Good look for Cooper. You're right. It was Hawkins to keep that alive. But we talked about rebounding in the first half. We talked about it in the second half. You get 2 offensive boards there for Lehi. The second one by Cowan is the one that he's able to put back. And Lehi continues to dominate the glass. It's been the difference here today.
A 9-point game with 1 minute left. We want to thank our friends at NutriCost for jumping in on this tournament as well. With over 300 supplement products available on NutriCost.com, you get the best product available. Use the code UTAHMADE. Look, try them out. If you haven't tried them before, try it. UTAHMADE. Get 30% off your order at NutriCost.com. Into Brousseau. Grayson, nobody home. He was looking for Cooper. Cooper hooked up. Grayson thought he was running up the rail.
That'll do.
And there's a stop without having to use any clock, too. No timeouts needed. to get the ball back here after that ball goes out of bounds. Possession arrow belongs to Lehi. That's also big down the stretch. Clock is frozen. It has not started. So 2.5. So maybe that's too hard for me to do the math. 53.7.
Well, I think you take it back and just restart this.
So no monitors available for this one. And we don't have a microphone down there either to hear his conclusions. Hey, Dusty's pretty good. Carter County math, that worked there. 2.5 seconds. Inbound in to Nybar. As it goes over to Brody. Send to the corner. Wells. Recovery there by Cooper Lewis. Wells terminates in the key, sends it over to Durrell. Durrell goes through, and they charge. Oh, a big call. And a charge as Brousseau hits the deck. And a big smile as they come down the floor. One more look at it. Grayson was setting that one up. Maybe saying Durrell lowered his profile a bit. Ooh, Hawkins back over to Bromley. And the shot clock, game clock, about 5-second difference in a 3-possession game. Try to give that away to Lewis. Here's Hawkins. And now the foul to Wells Robertson. And Easton Hawkins, Dane, the man that changed this game, and it was 11-2, has a chance to put it away.
Wow.
And now I'll say it. With 29 seconds left, Quincy Lewis, as Hawkins missed up on Quincy Lewis, can pass Craig Drury, the Wizard of Provo, with his 9th state championship. Goes 0 for 2 there, does Easton. But down the floor, Slim and none out there. There's a steal by Cooper. Lewis lays it in, and that will seal it. Nybar's off the mark, and Lehi. Dane, we've had people reaching out to us, talking about Corner Canyon, all the other stuff around it. And here's Lehi. They said, well, it was a one-man team. It was just Cooper Lewis. And what did Lehi prove? That this is a basketball team led by the greatest coach in the history of Utah high school basketball. Lehi are 6A champions. Quincy Lewis has 9 state championships and is alone at the top of the mountain of Utah high school basketball. He passes Craig Drury, the legend from Provo High School, with his 9th state championship, his 2nd at Lehi, 7 at Lone Peak, and 2 at Lehi. And he gets this one with his son, Cooper.
Wow. I'm stunned, Dusty. People have asked me all week long, who's the favorite in 6A? It's Corner, right? Yeah, it's Corner. Who else can play with him? Maybe AF. And yet it's Lehi, who walks in behind Cooper Lewis, Easton Hawkins, Grayson Brousseau, and they upset. I shouldn't say upset. They were the higher seed. They take down the defending state champion Corner Canyon Chargers. What a ball game.
What a ball game. I mean, Dan, when we walked in today, I thought, we said, hey, what's the over-under?
I did say Lehi would have to get to 70. Hey, we hit that one.
Yeah, it's true.
But I would have lost money today,
yeah.
Dusty. Not that we suggest such things.
Would have lost the soda pop. Oh, man, I just, Kenzie's ready to go. All right, let's send it down to Kenzie Valentine.
Honestly, I'm just saying this was for him. I love you, Dad. Did it for you. I love to hear that. What were you feeling when Cooper scored those final points to solidify that win at the end of the game?
Me personally, I was just out there. I was just happy for him. I was happy for the team. And honestly, I was just out there trying stuff. We were just trying stuff at the end of the game. We don't even do stuff like that.
There were so many fans who came out here today for you and a massive student section. What does it mean to have so much support?
Man, that's all the city of Lehi, man. City of Lehi is just a bunch of dogs, bunch of good fans. Just love them. That's all you can say.
Thank you, Easton. What a fantastic season. Congratulations.
Easton Hawkins. It was an 11-2 game early on, and Easton Hawkins took Lehi, put him on his shoulders, and pulled them along. And it got things going until the rest of the team and everybody else got rolling. Cooper got going, everything else. And it takes a team to win a championship, Dane, and everyone can say whatever they wanted, that it was just a Cooper Lewis show. I'm sorry. Said all year long, I didn't think it was. And it's at the end, the team with the best, I said at the top, team with the best score versus the best lineup. But Dane, Lehi proved they're more than one guy.
Look, I was one of those who said it was a Cooper Lewis show. And who was going to be the guy who could step up and provide 20? And today was Hawkins. And, man, he played like an absolute beast. Grayson Brousseau was great. Cooper did what Cooper does. Easton Hawkins was a major differentiator. I'm so impressed with Lehi. What a group.
What a year. What a year. And Corner Canyon played the presumptive walk away in the 6A tournament, and it was proved otherwise. Congratulations, Dan Lund and Corner Canyon, on an amazing year. They had to wait for Brody to get there, and then they got him, and they made a run all the way to the state championship. But it was Lehi behind Quincy Lewis, the leadership of the greatest high school basketball coach in the history of the state of Utah. Wins his 9th state championship as a head coach. Just unbelievable. Easton Hawkins, a young man playing with the spirit of his father on his shoulder, picks things up in that first quarter, gets it going. Cooper Lewis, the best scorer in the state, helps his dad get his monumentous 9th state championship and puts him at the top of the mountain of coaches in the state's history. Congratulations to the Lehi Pioneers and to my good friend, our good friend, Quincy Lewis. Number 9, brother. It's a crazy thing to think that he got there. We've been on the call for a lot of those state championships. And again, the final score, Lehi 78, Corner Canyon 67. Congratulations to the kings of 6A basketball, the Lehi Pioneers. For Dane Stewart, Kenzie Valentine, Austin Bigelow, Vince Francis. We want to thank Ellery Davidson for her help this week too. And Bauer Anderson hanging out with us this week. And all of you who've watched all week long as we brought you all 28 games from the site at the Huntsman Center. It's been an absolute pleasure of ours. Again, it is Lehi's, the 6A Kings of basketball. Check out our recap videos coming out soon. But what a night. So long from the Huntsman Center, and so long to the 2023-24 basketball season on KSLSports.com.